Well, it's a tough topic to talk about, but it's an important one. You might be surprised to hear that the United States is actually ranked as one of the worst countries in the world for human trafficking.
Like every other violent crime, it's high everywhere across the country. Ashley Sharp breaks down the truth about what trafficking of children looks like in Tennessee.
Sydney, Casey, people want to know, does child sex trafficking happen here in our community? Well, the short answer is yes, it happens everywhere. But with trafficking, it's a lot more than meets the eye, and it's much more than what you see on social media and in the movies.
It is a huge problem. It's like any other violent crime. The thing is, this isn't obvious all the time.
Trafficking of children is a sneaky crime. You may not even realize it happens in the Tri-Cities. That's because it flies under the radar most of the time.
In more rural areas, and especially in East Tennessee, we see a lot of familial trafficking in disadvantaged areas, areas that there's a lot of drug addiction, poverty.
That means the most common way for children to be trafficked in Tennessee isn't through abduction or kidnapping. In fact, for the overwhelming majority, it starts in the home or with someone they trust.
Movie style, I guess, abduction, that's an extremely small percent of what we see. Does it happen? Yes, right? But that's not usually our main issue. Some of the red flags, you can have a person or a child that's unusually fearful or anxious or submissive. They're obviously being monitored or controlled or almost guarded by someone else.
Child sex trafficking is defined as soliciting a minor for sex, but there has to be a commercial gain, meaning money is being made off the child. In Tennessee, human trafficking is the second fastest growing criminal industry, right behind drug trafficking. Across the country, every 2 minutes, a child is bought or sold for sex.
Because you'll never be able to stop it if you don't know what you're actually looking for. You know, you wouldn't think it happens here, and it probably doesn't happen here in the way that most people think it does. You know, random person in a Walmart parking lot coming and stealing you away and forcing you into sex trafficking.
Most child trafficking victims are actually forced into the sex trade by someone they know, a family member, or an adult they trust. To put this in context, a real-life example of a case investigated in Tennessee.
A little boy who would be sent to the landlord's house, and the landlord was taking advantage of the child, and of course the child didn't know why or what for, and it, you know, upon investigation it came out that the mother was receiving money off her rent.
Child trafficking means a minor is being solicited for sex, but the person trafficking them gets some kind of commercial gain, be it money, drugs, rent, car rides even. And to keep making money, traffickers are master manipulators of the most vulnerable.
Or the eastern part of Tennessee, where there's lots of drug addiction to opioids, where there's lots of poverty, you know, in counties that have less resources, things like that, it's going to happen.